In this video, we're going to be getting the initial look of the new Otter Creek Aquatics garage fish room design. So let's go ahead and dive in. What is going on, everybody, and welcome. If you're new to the channel, I am Kendall Water from Otter Creek Aquatics, and here on this channel we talk about things like fish breeding, planted tanks, and even some tips and tricks that could help you grow your aquarium keeping skills. So if you're interested in any of those topics, or just like the aquarium hobby, then go ahead and consider subscribing and ringing that little notification bell. That way you get notified every time I upload my weekly videos. Now let's go ahead and dive into that new fish room design. When you first walk into the fish room, this is going to be the first thing you're going to see. And this is a 40-gallon breeder double stand that I built. I may end up making it a triple stand, as that's what it was intended for. But as you can see, I don't have much room up there unless I move my linear piston air pump up. Then I would be able to throw another 40 breeder up on top of it. So as we pan around the fish room, you can see this is a door that actually leads out to my backyard. And I basically just put a black tarp over it. And this is going to be an inaccessible door because I'm eventually going to add another stand right here. So as we come over here, you can see that I have a tankless water heater, and this has been decent so far. It's not caused me any problems with running out of hot water, and I will link it down in the description for anybody that's interested. So as you can see back here, we have the water line that runs to the water softener, and I basically just tapped in right underneath of that with a shark bite, and this is PEX tubing, and then it comes through that ball valve, so I can shut that ball valve off and I won't have any water flow to this system. And then it basically tees off right here, so the cold runs directly to the sink. The rest of the cold will run around. The water runs around through here, goes up through the water heater, gets heated, comes out hot, runs back down and around, and goes in the hot section of the sink. And the water flow is pretty decent. I think it's like 5 gallons a minute that this sink does. This water heater does about 3 gallons of hot water per minute, so it works out pretty nicely with the 3 gallons of hot water mixed with the 2 gallon of cold to equal about 5 gallons a minute. Up here I have an RO system that I'm not 100% sure about yet. This is my first time messing with an RO system or RO water. It runs, I think, about a 12 TDS, and that's because I unhooked these top 2 membranes. As you can see, everything's still dusty from drywalling. But there's 2 membranes up here, and I basically just unhook both of those, because what that does is it remineralizes the water. So it was actually making the TDS go back up. So that may be something that I may be interested in. But as of right now, I haven't really played with it. I've basically just hung it on the wall, hooked everything up, and tested the TDS through each of the membranes. Here I have my sink, and it's been decent for what I've been using it for. It's just one of those kitchen utility sinks, and as you can see, the faucet that it came with directly hooks up to the Python, so that has been a huge benefit. The only bad thing right now in transitioning from the garage fish room to the in-house fish room is the distance that I have to go with my python from here. So walking over here, this is the second rack that I have built. And as you can see, I've got a 10-gallon tank down here. So this is gonna hold 20 10-gallon tanks. This is basically gonna be my guppy and endler breeding rack. And then to finish it off right now, we just have this little stock pond that I've basically just been putting excess plants in. So as you can see, we've got some crypt, we've got some Anubias, we've got some Java moss that it's doing alright, but this was growing immersed, so I'm basically having to transform it into a submerged grown. The jungle val in there is doing really well, but this is a 40-gallon stock tub. And then over here we just have the tools that I've been using to build it. So a shop vac to clean up any of the sawdust or drywall dust, a broom to sweep up the floor, and all of the tools that I've been using to build the racks. So to talk a little bit about the air system, this is a linear piston air pump. It is the LPH 80. It goes, that light is super bright. It goes all the way around the room. And then connects back right there. You can see the inlet, and then we have, this is a bleed valve. So you can see that I've got these tanks already tapped. We're going to be running the Aquarium Co-op sponge filters. I'm using this for the first time. Let me pull it out. So anybody that likes Python products, as you know, their tubing is just immaculate. And so I wanted to use their airline tubing for the air loop system. And just like this over here, you're not going to find a better tube than this right here. And that is why I went with them. It's actually relatively cheap. I bought 500 feet of it, and it cost me about 50 bucks. So if you're interested in that, I will also link that down in the description. The whole reason that I wanted to build this fish room is because of this water softener right here. So here in Indiana, we have super hard water that if you don't use a water softener, pretty much all of your faucets and all of your shower heads are going to have to be replaced very frequently because of the amount of lime buildup that you'll get. So this stuff is still dusty, but might have to wipe all that down. But the amount of salt that we run in this water softener to keep the lime buildup out of our pipes and out of our water heater in the house is just not good for plants. And I'm not exactly sure how good it is on the fish. I wouldn't say it would be harmful at all, but me running a lot of planted tanks, it doesn't help at all. This is probably a 12 by 12 room, so there's really not much room for a lot of stuff. But I know right here, I think I'm going to do either a double 55-gallon stand or a double 75. This is going to be the 20-gallon tall wall. And over here, I'm going to do 20-gallon longs. So I don't think I'm going to do anything on this wall. I think I'm just going to possibly build like a small desk for live streaming and stuff like that. So definitely let me know if there's any specific tank sizes that you guys would like to see me doing here. If there's any questions that you have on something that I didn't cover properly, go ahead and ask them, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you all for coming along and allowing me to share my thoughts with you on the new fish room design. If you've got any questions or comments, please post them down below. Thank you all for watching. Keep following your dreams, keep inspiring, and until next time, everybody, see you.